Updates sa Philippine Sports kasama ang iba't ibang pangalan sa palakasan. Power and Play kasama niyo ako, Noli Iyala, tuwing Sabado mula alas 8 hanggang alas 10 na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
Broadcasting live from TV5 Media Center. 25,000 watts ng balita, impormasyon, serbisyo, DWFM, Radyo 5, Radyo 5, 92.3, News FM, News FM.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay cherry loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, cherry loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Power and Play! Narito na ako, Noli Iyala, kilalanin ang mga nasa likod ng bawat laro. Sa buhay man o sa playing court, game na tayo! Power and Play sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko. Para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo. Ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, sumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa. Sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Pagkakaisa, yan po ang hatid lagi ng sports ng palakasan. At yan po ay muling pinatunayan ng tagumpay ng ating mga atleta sa Southeast Asian Games na kung saan tayo po ay bumabakas. Mga gintong alay ng kampyon sa buhay. Yan po ang ating pag-uusapan sa inyong paboritong kasama tuwing Sabado ng umaga. E di paano? Bangon na! Power and Play na!
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Magandang umaga po mga kapatid. Nagbabalik po ang inyong paboritong kasama tuwing almusal, tuwing Sabado. Ito po ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, Cherry Tigo, it's fun to drive, and Chooks to Go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan, powered by Smart. Naku kinakamusta po natin muna ang lahat po ng ating mga suki sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM. Nag-uulan na po ngayon. In fact, official na yata, no? Declare na tag-ulan dito po sa ating bansa. Although in some parts lamang at tuwing hapon nga medyo nag-uulan na. Kaya ingat-ingat lang po. Lahat po ng mga suki nating nakatutok dyan po sa mga ospital, mga security guard, yung mga paluwas po at pauwi sa kanilang mga bahay na galing sa trabaho, at of course yung mga biyahero po natin, yung mga tsuper at mga konduktor po natin, mga kaibigan. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Kinakamusta rin po natin mayong buntag sa lahat po ng ating mga kaibigan dyan po sa Karkar, Cebu. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Marami po tayong mga kaibigan dyan, si Kuya Roy ng Island Trek Tours. Magandang umaga. And of course, lahat po ng nakatutok naman sa 1PH on Signal TV at sa Facebook Live, especially sa Middle East. Magandang umaga po, magandang hapon, magandang gabi. Marami po tayong pag-uusapan ngayong araw na to. Of course, ang patuloy na kampanya ng Philippine team sa Hanoi, Vietnam, sa Southeast Asian Games, kung saan tayo po ay sa kasalukuyan lumalaban sa pamula 3rd hanggang 5th position. Umaangat-angat tayo. So again, dikit na dikit. Although tayo ay malaking tsansa sapagat siyam na boksingero natin ang pumasok na sa semifinals at maaaring makakuha na po ng medalya. Kaya maganda to yung pagtatapos. Of course, ang basketball team natin patuloy na walang talo sa SEA Games at again, yan ang sinasabi nilang most coveted gold medal para sa mga Pilipino. At mamaya po, yan ang ating pag-uusapan sa pamamagitan ng isa nating kampiyon, si Agatha Wong, na Wushu Queen ng Pilipinas, and of course, another gold medal sa 31st Southeast Asian Games. Isa pang kampiyon ang ating makakausap mamaya, ang champion coach ng UP Fighting Maroons. Walang iba kung hindi si Coach Goldwin Monteverde and his magical run in his first year sa UAAP. At mamaya rin po makakausap natin ang number 1 overall pick ng PBA Draft. Siya po'y matagal na naghintay pero ngayon maglalaro na muli sa PBA. Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser sa In the Spotlight mamaya-maya. So, wag po kayong aalis. Marami tayong huntahan. At of course, maraming balitaan. At syempre, sisimulan na natin sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Kinuha ng Blackwater Bossing sa number 1 overall pick si Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser. Kaya firma Jeep naman ang nag-pick up kay Jeremiah Gray sa number 2. Magkasunod namang kinuha ng Converge ang bagong team ng PBA sina Gio Ambohot at Justin Arana sa numbers 3 and 4 spots. Si Ateneo guard Gian Mamuyak napunta naman sa Rain or Shine sa number 5. Ilan pa sa mga notable names na nakuha sina Javi Gomez de Leaño sa number 8 pick at si Sean Ildefonso pang ikasampung pick. Sleeper pick naman sa number 19 overall si Encho Serrano na napunta sa Phoenix. Speaking of PBA Draft, abangan po ninyo ang aming panayam sa top overall draft pick na si Bangon, Ganuelas-Rosser. Kaugnay pa rin ang draft na yan, may trade agad. Ako po na nangyari. Pinakawalan ng Terra Firma Jeep si Jeremiah Gray at pinadala sa Barangay Ginebra. Kapalit yan si number 8 pick na si Javi Gomez de Leaño at ang hindi laging ginagamit na si Brian Enriquez. Kasalukuyang nagpapagaling sa knee injury si Gray. Inaasahan namang magiging instant contributor sa Jeep si de Leaño dahil naglaro na ito sa Japan D-League. Speaking of the draft, nilatag na rin ang draft order para sa NBA 2022 draft. Number 1 pick ngayon taon ang mapupunta sa Orlando Magic. Sinundan sila ng Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 3 ang Houston Rockets. 4 ang Sacramento Kings. At 5 ang Detroit Pistons. Ilan sa mga matutunog na pangalan sa NBA draft ang unicorn na si Chet Holmgren. Pasadahan naman natin ang ilang notable golds ng Pilipinas sa SEA Games itong nagdaang linggo. Una dyan ang historic gold ni Merwin Tan sa bowling para basagin ang 11-year title drought ng bansa sa biennial meet. Historic din ang panalo ng Pilipinas sa women's wild rift ng esports dahil ang bansa ang unang gold medalist sa all-women's event. Si Eric Ray naman, nakumpleto ang kanyang 5 feet sa 400-meter hurdle. At sa 9-ball event, all-Filipino finals ang nangyari kung saan nakuha ni Johan Chua ang ginto laban sa kababayan at world champion na si Carlo Piado. Laban lang Pilipinas, marami pang medalya na pwede tayong makuha. Segue tayo sa UAAP. Magbabalik na po ang inaabangang UAAP Cheer Dance Competition na mapapanood natin sa linggo. Ngunit sa kanilang pagbabalik ay wala muna ang kani-kanilang bit-bit na drum lines. Nagdesisyon kasi ang UAAP board na hindi payagan ang live drums dahil sa health and safety protocols. Bukas naman ang pamunuan ng UAAP na pag-isipan ang hiling ng drummers na payagan ang pagdadala ng drums sa competition. Unang magpapakitang gilas ang Ateneo Blue Babble Battalion. Susundan sila ng cheer dance powerhouses na NU Pep Squad at UP Pep Squad. Kasunod niya ng FEU, Adamson, De La Salle, UE at panghuli ang UST Salingawi Dance Troupe. At yan po ang buod ng mga balita ngayong linggo sa Sports Weekly Highlights. Alright, well, hindi po tayo magkakaroon na ngayong araw pong ito ng pulso, pero ibabalik po natin yan sa mga susunod na linggo. Meron lang po tayong inaayos, kaya wala po tayong pulso ng bayan ngayong araw na ito. Pero alam nyo, marami pa rin kayong pwedeng pulsohan. Sapagkat marami tayong pag-uusapan sa ating susunod na segment, ang ating paboritong Fast Take.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang Fast Take ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. It's fun to drive. Alright. At ngayong araw pong ito, special na naman ang ating Fast Take siyempre. Sapagkat ang ating mga kasama, one-on-one na Fast Take to. Parang last week, naka-one-on-one natin si Coach Alan Gregorio. Ngayon naman, ang makaka-one-on-one natin ang ating kaibigan at NBA correspondent natin mula sa Chicago. Walang iba kung hindi ang batikan at napaka-popular na Homer Saison. Homer, magandang araw sa iyo. Thank you again for joining us on Fast Take.
Good morning, Com. Pleasure is all mine. Always fun to be in your show.
Alam mo, maraming nangyayari today sa Fast Take kapag usapan natin yung NBA Finals. Pero bago yan, yung NBA Playoffs, pero bago yan, meron mga dami-dami nangyayari sa mundo ng palakasan, lalong-lalo na sa PBA and of course sa NBA. But let me begin with this latest na nangyari, yung pagkakatrade kay Jeremiah Gray na nanggaling sa terra firma at napunta ngayon sa Barangay Ginebra with a trade of the 8th pick who turns out to be Javi Gomez de Leaño. Alam mo, marami of course nakapuna yan, marami nakakita dahil hindi ito unang pagkakataon na ginawa ng terra firma ito. Remember yung mga inilipat nilang mga number 1 pick in the past. What do you think is the impact of this move again ng terra firma Jeep and of course possibly approved by the PBA?
First of all, if terra firma tries to explain the trade by saying na they could not wait for Jeremiah Gray. They found out daw na injured. And yung sinabi ko nga sa column ko, Commissioner, that would be executive malpractice on the part of the manager kung months before the trade na hindi mo alam na si Jeremiah Gray already made pronouncements in media na hindi siya makalaro until next January. The job of a manager is to do his due diligence, di ba? You have the number 2 pick of the draft. So you have to scout all these talents kung sino ang i-pick mo. You have to know everything, the nuances, statistics, measurements, everything. And then they just, because of their history nga, the terra firma just loses its credibility. Na hindi tayo makapaniwala. They just think we're all gullible. They think we're all stupid. Diba? We're not all stupid. Yun na sinabi nila, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the time. That's what terra firma is doing. But also, the biggest, for me here, the biggest takeaway is the deafening silence that is roaring from the office of the PBA Commissioner. Why is it the idea of a draft commissioner? Alam naman ng mga listeners mo, they're very intelligent. That the idea of a draft is to make sure that the teams that are underperforming, tingin mo sa NBA, the top 3 order of the draft are Orlando, Oklahoma, Sacramento, and Houston. Those are the 4 underperforming teams. And the idea, the rationale of doing that is to give the chance sa mga poor teams, underperforming teams to get fresh talent so that they could be competitive. And it would redound eventually to the welfare of the league, di ba? Kasi kung may parity yung league mo, di maraming manonood. Where else in this green earth would you see a reigning champion, Ginebra San Miguel, getting the number 2 pick? Di ba? Tapos, ang masaklap dito, Commissioner, is I found out that San Miguel Group allegedly they did not want Gray to drop to 3 or 4 because Converge was willing to take the risk on him. Converge doing their due diligence. They were convinced that the ACL tear had healed properly. May surgery siya with Dr. Robles out there in California, and they had faith na because of the kasi iba players recover differently with ACL tears. Look at Derek. Derrick Rose did not recover as well as we would like to because his game was a lot of aggressiveness, ginagamit yung torque. But with Jeremiah Gray, the skill set that he presents, he would not be affected too much by the ACL there. And plus the technology is the technology now.
Well,
So parang sasabi ko nga, that's why when I said in my tweet na medyo malicious lang, it's very fishy because Ginebra as presently constituted doesn't really need Jeremiah Gray. They have enough talent. What they wanted to do was to take that talent away from other teams. So you are basically compromising the competition. You're not allowing them to get that prosperity that the draft was intended to be. Yun ang
Ako, as far as I'm concerned, of course, ang bawat kuponan, ang intention lagi manalo. Dapat, that is the idea.
Yes.
And you cannot blame Ginebra. Gusto nilang manalo.
Yes, exactly.
If they can get all of the good players, why not? Diba? Yan ang aking pananaw. And of course, it is the office of the commissioner na dapat mag-regulate yan. Ang aking issue dyan, yung terra firma. Yun ang hindi, ayaw manalo. Yun ang problema. And I have always said that, I have sounded that off. It cannot be that way. Hindi po pwede because even if they try to justify this, lahat ng galaw nila in the past have not made them a better team. And that's why they have not made the playoffs. And again, it just belabors the point na yung mga galaw nila, obviously, hindi para palakasin ang team. And that hurts their credibility, their fans, and of course, the credibility of the PBA.
The Jeep is a transport for other teams' prosperity, not their own.
Let's look at the rookie draft that happened this year. And ako, my personal take is, medyo mababaw. It was not as we had expected dahil they relaxed the rules for foreign players, pero hindi pa rin masyadong marami. In fact, some big names skipped the draft. And
Yes.
now we're beginning to see that yung mga umalis dati, no? Sila Kirby, sila Dwight Ramos, sila Carino, they have not gone back to apply for the PBA draft as we had thought. Na after 1 year, siguro after 1 year, babalik yan. Now they have all signed again in the B-League, and we're now seeing Balcazar going to the B-League and probably Richie Rivero. Ito ba, Homer, do you see this na magtutuloy-tuloy na to? And what can the PBA do to attract the big talents once again?
Well, the PBA money, you have to the equanimity. You have to provide the same opportunities. Why do these kids leave? Because the money, the opportunities are better. You have to provide that same alternative. Kasi kung tingnan mo, like for instance, if you are Kiefer Rabena, you're making $36,000 a month. Why would you go back to the PBA? If you are Dwight Ramos, or if you are even ang dinig ko kay the fresh 2-year deal na Ray Park signed is at least $32,000.
Wow.
And not only that, Commissioner, it's not just the money. It's the freedom. The PBA is not there na, the PBA is what it is. Hindi walang freedom. They ban if you don't want to play with they ban you if you don't want to play with them. Maraming rules. And look at the trades. We just spoke about it. In the B-League, it's just basketball. You only have to worry about the basketball. You don't have to worry about the politics. Tapos yung perks. Yung sinabi ko na to before many times. Like for instance, Kiefer Rabena has a very nice apartment, has a car at his disposal. They eat free at restaurants or corporations, restaurants that sponsor ng B-League. So other perks. I mean, sinabi ko nga, perks are not. If you're getting paid well, you don't really need the perks. Diba? If you're already making a million pesos a month, you don't need the perks. So that's why if the PBA wants to prevent the drain of talents, they have to match it. They have to run the league well. They have to define the salary cap. Hindi na tayo mag-pretend that there is a salary cap because it is on or more in the briefs than in the practice, di ba?
I think you're right. I think the PBA has to review its salary scale, hindi lang salary cap, but the salary scale. Obviously.
And here also, Commissioner, is another thing. Sinabi ko din sa mga players. So, when I talk to players, kasi sabi nila, Sir Homer, I can't tell you how much my salary is kasi magagalit yung agent ko at magagalit ang PBA. So sabi ko, I have no interest magkano sweldo mo. The only interest is that dapat ito in the open. So malaman ng publiko. Kasi sa NBA commissioner, if you want to know Kyrie Irving's salary, you can know. It's public record. You know why it's public record? Because the NBA is not afraid. They're not hiding anything. See?
Well, in fairness, sabi sa akin ni Commissioner Willie when I interviewed him that it is supported by BIR documents. So I leave it at that. I know that you have your own opinion about that, but let's certainly hope na maayos nila to, malinis nila, because I agree with you. I think at the end of the day, if teams cannot pay and cannot match the bigger teams, ganun kalalaga ang problema, hindi sila mananalo. Diba?
Yes.
That's the reality of the PBA. And I think you cannot blame the big teams, the big companies. It's the smaller teams. It's up to them to really catch up. And if they cannot catch up, at least build a team that can compete against the bigger teams. All right.
I agree, 100%.
No. All right. Homer, let's begin with the fast take issues of the morning. Pero bago yan, this is all about the NBA. I just want to ask you, what happened? Alam naman natin, sa East, in true to form, number 1, number 2 seed are in the finals, but in the West, both the first and second seed dropped out. Of course, we know what happened to Memphis, that injured si Ja Morant, their biggest star. But what happened to the Phoenix Suns, Homer?
I think they choked, Commissioner. There's no other way to put it. In the history of the NBA playoffs, and we're talking for 75 years of league history, in the history of those playoffs, Game 7 home teams win 80.1% of the time. That's number 1. Number 2, you have the best record in the West, 62-20 in the course of those. So there's enough body of work to show that you're the best team. And then all of a sudden, you don't perform.
And
so
they lose big. They lose big.
By 33 points, which is also an NBA record of a home team losing a Game 7 at home. So they here are the two things. Nabasa ko sa one thing. People don't talk about this, Commissioner, but DeAndre Ayton played only 17 minutes. He was unstoppable. No big in the Dallas Mavericks could stop him. But it was an internal issue. It was the team who said you can only play him that much. May internal conflict si DeAndre Ayton. He's trying to renegotiate a contract. Gusto niya max deal ng Phoenix. It has been ongoing. And then there was, if this was not a Game 7, Commissioner, he would not even have played. But because this was a Game 7, they played him, but they only played in 17 minutes. Yes, that's one issue. Second issue, Chris Paul now had a quad injury. But like I said, Commissioner, I hate to make excuses pag injury because who is healthy at this point in the playoffs, diba?
Tama yan.
Everybody is hurt at this point, so I'm not going to take this out. So I'm going to take it out on Devin Booker. You're supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant. You're not looking not even close to Bryant Daniels. So you're playing at home, Commissioner. You're an all-star. So yun naman sabi ko. But then,
all right,
not to take away from Dallas Mavericks. They played well, Commissioner.
They really played well.
Look at that.
And Luka really played well, and of course the defense was terrific. And now they have to show that in the conference finals. Let's go to the fast take issues of the morning before tayo maubusan ng oras.
Yes.
Alam mo naman dito, you know the drill. Walang tama, walang mali, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, wag magagalit. And of course, ang opinion ni Homer Saison ang mahalaga. First issue of the morning, ito tungkol sa NBA playoffs. So far, with only 4 teams remaining in the conference finals, which team is the biggest surprise for you? 1 minute, Homer, go!
Dallas Mavericks, Commissioner, they were not supposed to be here. We all know Luka Doncic is going to be a star, but he arrived way ahead of schedule. 30.8 points per game, 6.4 assists, 9.8 rebounds. He's doing everything. But the beauty of the Luka Doncic, Commissioner, is that he makes everybody around him better. Reggie Bullock Reggie Bullock was like a bench player with the Los Angeles Lakers. Look at him now with the Dallas Mavericks. Finney Smith was an unheralded player. Look at him now, feeding all those three-point shots, courtesy of Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is just, like I said, and then the coaching commissioner, Jason Kidd, is so underrated, underappreciated as a coach. You see how he made adjustments. Look at this. They lost by 30 points in Game 5 on the same arena. 2 days later, they came back for Game 7. They won by 33. 66-point turnaround. So, Dallas Mavericks, to answer your question.
Well, and of course, Jason Kidd has been impressive. And kaya nabanggit mo, and their defense has been, nakita ko yung isang clip ni Jason Kidd, how animated he was on the sidelines, really piloting and orchestrating the defense, never mind the offense, because Luka will always be there. Second issue of the morning, Homer, ito ang ating second issue. Sino ang best player sa mga natitirang koponan ngayon sa playoffs? Only 4 teams remain: Miami, Boston, Dallas, and the Golden State Warriors. Sino ang best player so far?
Each team will be Luka Doncic, obviously, for Dallas, and then for Miami, you have Jimmy Butler, no question. Jason Tatum for the Boston Celtics, that 46 point. He scored 46. I was there, Commissioner. 46 points on the road on an elimination game. It's hard to argue. This kid is only 25 years old. And then the Golden State Warriors. There's so many players to choose from. But for Golden State, I still pick Steph Curry, because Steph Curry is still the straw that stirs that drink. The defense still goes. When they do these defensive drills, they still focus on Steph Curry. It's not about Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. So, having all those players combined, I pick Jason Tatum, Commissioner, because of the all-around. He plays defense. He plays both ends of the floor. So, I pick him among the 4 best players that are left in the playoffs now. Jason Tatum for me.
And frankly, I pick Boston also to make it all the way to the finals. I really think that they've played the best basketball since the All-Star break. In fact, since 2022. So I think itong team na to is really bound to make it. But of course, Miami will be tough. All right, let's go to the third issue of the morning, and this is about the NBA Draft. Malapit na yan, June 23 NBA Draft. Ang tanong, sino dapat ang kunin ng Orlando Magic bilang number 1 overall pick sa 2022 NBA Draft? Homer, 1 minute, go.
Well, you'd think that they would pick Chet Holmgren, because the Orlando Magic has a history of liking bigs. They picked Dwight Howard 14 years ago, and then they had Aaron Gordon, and Chet Holmgren fits the bill. But then again, Commissioner, he's too skinny. The knock on Chet Holmgren is he's 7 feet and 235, and he will be bullied down the paint unless he gains weight. And then you have Jabari Smith, he's also very good. But to answer your question, if I were the Orlando Magic, I'll take Paolo Banchero, pinsan ni Chris Banchero.
Wow.
6'10", 245, and the reason why I like him, Commissioner, is that he can create his own shots. He's more like a hybrid point guard. And then when you start a franchise like that, look at the Golden State Warriors. They had Curry. Look at Brooklyn. They have Kyrie Irving. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. They have Luka. You need that facilitator who can core and who can also create his shots, and most importantly, make the players around him better. Because the defense, Commissioner, will always take care of itself, but you need an offensive player. So Banchero for me, if I'm Orlando.
Wow, that is a name that is coming out of left field, and obviously a familiar name sa ating mga Pilipino. And we
Duke University, he's number 3. That's the reason why he's number 3, Commissioner. He's very good.
All right, I have about a minute and a half here, Homer. I want to ask you about Kai Soto stock. Are we buying or are we selling for the NBA Draft?
Well, Commissioner, the popular thing is because he's Filipino, and I'm rooting for him too. I like Kai. He's a really, really good kid. But it's so hard to get in the draft, Commissioner, and there's a reason why he's not on the ESPN Top 100. There's a reason why he's not on the CBS Top 100. There's a reason why he's not on the NBA Draft.net Express, 3 of the most influential mock draft sites. So, in fact, I spoke to one coach yesterday. The only chance for Kai Soto to make it in the draft is because it is this. he has this private workouts, right? Beginning this May 23, Monday, on the New York Knicks, and then he would have 11 more teams looking at him. That's his only chance. But he would have to work hard on that. They do use some drills, Commissioner. And also, people don't know this. It's not just like they invited Kai Soto. No, they invited other players. This is not exclusive. Now, tingnan ka namin, no. He's gonna be there with other kids because there are like over 200 wanting to go to the NBA. There are like 2,000 Division I schools, and only 60 are in the draft. So can you imagine magkano kadami doon? I want the kid to succeed kasi Filipino yan, akin yan. Yes, I always dream, Commissioner. I've been covering the NBA. I've been to 19 NBA finals.
But again, Homer, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I know that there are many more, marami pang balita na gusto mo sabihin.
Oh
We'll
my
have another
goodness.
time for that. But right now, I gotta say goodbye. And again, thank you for joining us today sa Power and Play.
BBM. Thank you.
Maraming salamat. Mga kaibigan, ang ating kaibigan si Homer Saison. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, isang paalala po from Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page and your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The GigaLife app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the GigaLife app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Alright mga kaibigan, when we come back, ang ating po makakausap, ang Wushu Queen, gold medalist sa 31st Southeast Asian Games, walang iba kung hindi si Agatha Wong. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng Birmingham Subdivisions. Come home to Birmingham.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Muli Iyala, Power and Play sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM.
Muli po nagbabalik ang Power and Play ngayong araw po ng Sabado. O nga pala, bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating susunod na panauhin, gusto ko lang pong bumati sa ating minamahal na Chairman ng Philippine Sports Commission ng isang maligayang kaarawan, Chairman Butch Ramirez. Saludo po kami sa trabaho ninyo and of course sa tagumpay ng Team Pilipinas dyan po sa Southeast Asian Games. Again, happy birthday po mula sa Power and Play family. Alright, talking about the Southeast Asian Games, mga kapatid, well, ang ating pong susunod na magiging panauhin ay isang 4-time gold medal winner ng Southeast Asian Games. And of course, siya po ang tinaguriang Reyna, the Queen of Wushu. Walang iba kundi ang ating pinagmamalaking gold medal winner ng Southeast Asian Games, si Agatha Wong. Magandang araw. Good evening, Agatha. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today.
Well, unang-una, congratulations are in order for another very successful Southeast Asian Games. Agatha, I know na napaka hirap ng pinagdaanan ninyo because we came from a pandemic. So, you know, how does this, before anything else, this is your 4th gold medal in the Southeast Asian Games, and is it any different? Mas sweet ba to? Considering na dumaan kayo sa pandemic at sa sakripisyong dinaanan ninyo.
For me, it was vastly different kasi I have never prepared for such a competition of this caliber with such a short amount of time given to me and my teammates. So for me, it was quite a difficult journey, pero I also learned to enjoy it as well. So I'm very grateful that I was selected to be part of the Southeast Asian Games yet again. And I was very grateful na I was able to win some medals as well.
And that's being very humble of you, Agatha. A gold and a silver, of course, is truly an achievement once again para sa Wushu. You know, can you just run us through? Kamusta yung paghahanda ninyo? I understand that all of the athletes had to go through a bubble. Kayo sa Wushu, how was it training for the Southeast Asian Games without, you know, yung actual na pwede kayong magkita-kita or competition? How did you cope?
I think one of the more challenging parts being in a bubble is that you don't really get to go home. You can't go home on weekends. You can't really meet with your family members. Tapos actually yung original plan ko was to stay in the bubble and then I guess go home for a few days and then saka ako lilipad sa Vietnam. But I didn't have the chance anymore kasi parang I chose to focus muna on SEA Games. So what happened was, nung malapit na kami umalis, sinabihan ko yung family ko na hindi na ako uuwi kasi I'm very scared of what might happen sa SEA Games, and I'm medyo hindi ako kampante with myself going into SEA Games. So that's why I told them that I had to train and train and train. So I'm very grateful na rin na they supported me and they understood.
And that means gaano katagal? How long were you away from your family?
So I went into the bubble February 23, and then I just saw them. No, I mean I just stayed at home May 15. So more than 2 months. Yeah.
Oo, ang tagal din nun parang nag-OFW.
No.
sa haba ng journey mo. You mentioned that you were not very confident and and you wanted to train and train and train. Anong concern mo, Agatha? Was it a concern about your condition, your mental state? Was it a concern about hometown judging? What was your concern going to Hanoi?
Madami. One of my main concerns was the body that I had, yung body ko nung 2019 when I won in the Manila Southeast Asian Games, it wasn't the same anymore. I lost a lot of muscle. I was about 58 or 57 kilograms nung 2019, and then when I went inside the bubble, I was 50 kilograms. So I lost a lot. I lost a lot of weight. Tapos nawala na din yung muscle memory ko. Kasi usually pag nagsusports ka for so long, dapat maalala ng katawan mo yun. But in my case, hindi na niya maalala. It's like I had to start again from step number 1. So that was one of my challenges. And also, being in a male-dominant sport here in the Philippines, wala akong masyadong female teammates that time sa bubble. So walang nakakaano sa akin, wala akong nakaka-relate, wala akong masyadong nakakausap. Even though I had female teammates, they were in a different discipline. So I was the only female in my discipline. Yun.
How did the federation help you in that sense? Meron naman bang mga psychologists, meron bang mga proper people, experts to guide you during that bubble?
So in the bubble, we were provided with nutritionists, with food, Wi-Fi, kasi some of us were still in school. We were also provided with physical therapists, and then syempre may coach kami. So meron naman kaming support system. It was very proper and it was very helpful for me kasi in the first few weeks of going to the bubble, I suffered minor injuries like pulled muscles, ganun. Kasi nga nawala na ng muscle memory yung katawan ko. So I needed some treatment, I needed recovery.
Well, it's good to hear na at least kumpleto doon at of course nagbunga ang inyong sakripisyo. When you won the silver in the, let me pronounce this properly, Taiji Chuan, tama ba?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. You won the silver. You said that it exceeded your expectations. Bakit?
Yes, kasi I barely trained the past 2 years in the pandemic. I've seen my opponents, parang hindi sila nadaanan ng pandemya dun sa training conditions that they had. They were having moxie games in their own respective countries, Tapos they had really good recovery centers. Parang each time na meron silang wave of COVID, parang mas lalo silang tinututukan ng coach for each athlete. So parang it's hard not to compare yourself with the situation that you have right now and the situation that other athletes have in another country. So when I learned that I won silver, I was very surprised kasi I didn't think that I could do it again. Maski bronze yan or maski gold yan, I was still surprised kasi it really exceeded my expectations.
But, later on, of course, you bounced back right away. And it didn't take you that long. You won a gold dun sa Taiji Chen, tama ba yun?
Taiji
Chen competition. How tough was that? Gano'n naman kahirap yun that you were, feeling not so confident in the day before, and all of a sudden, here you are again competing, and you win a gold.
I think it's funny for me kasi parang feeling ko hindi naman lahat ng tao, pero feeling ko for some people, pag nanalo ka na the first time, kahit hindi siya gold, feeling mo it's enough na. I try to step away from that kind of mindset kasi I don't think it's very sustainable long term. So nung nanalo ako ng silver, I was very thankful. Pero hindi ko pinabayaan yung sarili ko na parang mag-relax, and parang I didn't let myself feel or think na parang okay na ako sa silver. I had to keep telling myself, no, you have to keep charging forward, you have to keep doing your best. Hindi ka pwede mag-relax right now kasi nagka-silver ka na, you can't really let go of your second event. So that's what I did. My coach actually called me the night before my second event. Tapos yung sinabi niya sa akin is, don't overthink, kaya mo to, don't overthink. Kasi hindi siya sumama sa SEA Games, naiwan siya dito sa Philippines. So he called me sa Viber that night, and then sabi niya sa akin, Aga, basta wag ka mag-overthink. Just parang nasa training ka lang, just do it, ganun. So, yun yung inisip ko, and then after I competed kasi I think I was the third to perform. Tapos after me there were still about 6 people to perform. Pero after that parang I felt like there was a weight lifted off my shoulders kasi kahit na hindi ko pa alam yung final results, at least okay yung form ko, tas okay din yung score ko. So yun.
Well, we're watching your performance, of course. And before I ask you about Wushu itself, obviously, lahat ng tao, tinitingnan ka, and expectations were high, no? Kasi naman alam natin that you had won medals before in Kuala Lumpur and of course in the Philippines. Did you feel pressure? Naramdaman mo ba yun? And sabi mo nga, a weight was lifted off your shoulders. So was there that kind of pressure before your performance?
I think I felt more pressure nung 2019 than I had this year. Kasi before I went to Vietnam, I didn't really accept any interviews kasi I really wanted to focus first on SEA Games. So parang hindi ko siya masyadong na-feel yung pressure na yun. And actually mas okay ako kapag walang masyadong pressure, yung hindi ko na-feel sa ibang tao. So parang I was also kind of thankful na it happened in Vietnam and not here in the Philippines. Kasi there was more pressure here in the Philippines.
Ay, sigurado kasi sa dami ng nanonood, and of course everybody expecting na mag-uuwi tayo na napakaraming gold because we were running after the overall title. Let me ask you about Wushu, Agatha, because alam naman natin Wushu is not as popular as other sports, no, and yet we have been very successful in the last 2 decades in terms of Wushu. Una, tell us how is this played and what are the important elements ng Wushu?
So Wushu kasi, since we all know Taekwondo and Karate, Taekwondo is from Korea, Karate is from Japan. Yung Wushu, it's from China. So for each martial art, there is 2 disciplines, isang sparring, tapos isang forms. So yung sparring portion namin is called Sanda. Yung forms namin is called Taolu. So when a person enters Wushu, hindi na siya pwede mag-transfer ng discipline once he or she goes into Taolu or Sanda. So ako, nasa forms ako, which is called Taolu. I've always been there. Never na ako nag-shift sa Sanda kasi hindi bagay sa body type ko. Sa Sanda kasi kailangan malaki yung katawan mo, brusko ka, ganun. I don't have that kind of body type. Tapos, dun sa sparring namin, which is Sanda, very easy lang yung scoring. It's just, bawat suntok sipa mo, yung judge yung mag-click ng button to give you points. Ganun lang siya.
Right.
Pero sa discipline portion naman, it's much more complicated kasi ang dami mong kailangan intindihin. So meron kang foundation of basics, you have to have flexibility, you have to build your stamina, you have to jump really high, you have to be able to have good stability. Madami. Tapos yung scoring dun sa forms naman namin, it's based off your whole performance. So for example, hindi maganda yung costume mo, may deduction ka. Nasira
really?
yung weapon mo, may deduction ka. Nabitawan mo yung weapon mo, may deduction ka. Yeah, it's like that. So it's more of like it's kind of like gymnastics, pero dun sa form portion namin, lahat talaga tinitingnan. Yeah.
Okay. So in that sense, dahil parang ang daming elemento, lalong-lalo na yung Taolu, no, na sinasalihan mo, Agatha. How do you train for it? Do you train for it? May cross-training ba yan? Do you have to do weights? Do you need to have some basics in gymnastics? How do you train for Wushu?
So sa Wushu, sasabihin ko na ngayon, you have to start young. That's how they really develop athletes. Ganun talaga sa Wushu. Kasi if you start maybe 17, 16, it might be a bit too late. Pag bata pa kasi, the child can be more flexible. He or she can handle pain more. The bones aren't that brittle kasi nga bata pa. So when I started Wushu, I was 8 years old. So that's parang the optimal age for male and females, mga 6 to 8 years old. Tapos Yung problem kasi sa wushu is once you stop training kahit na twice a day ka nagte-training sa wushu, pag nag-stop ka kahit 2 days, ma-feel mo na sa katawan mo when you go back to training after 2 days, you feel really weak. Yun yung problem sa wushu. Madali kang you can really easily fall off the bench. So when dun sa wushu, you have to build your flexibility. Sobrang gruesome talaga. Very important yung flexibility. Pag hindi ka flexible, total lahat ng form mo hindi na maganda. Kasi flexibility talaga is one of the foundational basics of wushu. And then you have to develop your muscles. So makikita nyo sa Taolu, malalaki yung legs namin kasi it's mostly quad incorporated yung namin, yung sa forms namin. Yeah. Tapos you have to build your stamina as well kasi even though my form is 3 minutes, it is so tiring. Pero kailangan hindi mo ipakita sa judges na pagod ka. So, it's quite complicated. Pero there are a lot of factors to consider.
You have tried other sports na nabanggit mo yan, and we know that, karate, even swimming for that matter. But you said that you love wushu. It has become really part of you. Bakit? What is it about wushu na kumbaga has become something that you have really come to love and are now enjoying?
It's really quite the challenge. I really loved wushu kasi ang hirap niya. I don't know why I love things that really challenge me, pero that's what made me fall in love. Also, one thing is hindi siya masyadong kilala dito sa Philippines. So parang me being an introvert, I chose wushu before kasi whenever I tell people I do wushu, wala silang masyadong alam. So parang it's kind of like training na rin for my introvert self to tell them about wushu. Kasi I think more than half of the Filipino population don't really know about my sport. And it's one of my advocacies na rin to promote my sport. Yeah.
Well, you are turning 24 in a day or two. I understand. You're celebrating your birthday tomorrow. I think, no?
Yeah.
Tama ba ako? Kita mo, ang galing ng mga researchers ko. So, happy birthday, Agatha. And you're turning 24 at a very young age. You've competed in so many international tournaments. Nagsimula ka na napakabata. How long do you see yourself staying in the sport?
I think as long as kaya pa ng katawan ko. Kasi right now, even at 24, I feel so old. Sometimes I wish I was still 21 or 19. Kasi when I was 19, parang kaya ko pa mag-wushu. Pero ngayon na parang nafe-feel ko na medyo napafatig. Mas lalo na akong napafatig, mas lalo na akong napapagod. It's really hard getting old.
Oo. Lahat naman yan, but dadaan dyan. But at least the mind is definitely still desiring to compete, and I think that's one of the most important things. And obviously, when you talk about that, competing more and more, dinagdaanan mo ng Southeast Asian Games, you have conquered this region with so many gold medals. What is your ultimate goal now, Agatha? Are you looking at the World Championships? Are you looking at the Asian Championships? Ano ang magkukumpleto sa'yo sa iyong napiling sport ng wushu?
I think I'm already complete. I don't really set any expectations kasi every time I compete. So kahit natanungin mo ako nung 2017 sa Kuala Lumpur SEA Games, 2019 sa Manila, and even now, 2022, I would still have the same answer na I've always been a complete person. I've always felt complete. Pero one thing that I can attribute to is I just want to do my best every time I compete. And I think that shows naman with my results. It doesn't necessarily mean when I don't get something from a competition, I feel so incomplete na. It just means na it poses as a challenge for me to work harder and be better. So right now, I'm not really eyeing on anything. Parang I'm just eyeing on future competitions na I might represent the Philippines in.
Well, you mentioned in an IG post, and I want to quote a little bit about a little bit of that. You mentioned, and I quote, "Don't rely on motivation or inspiration as part of your keys to success." No, you said you always have to rely on discipline. Maybe one day when you wake up, wala yung motivation or inspiration by your side. because it's very fleeting, so on and so forth. And so you said, so you have to follow discipline, and you said a little more. Parang may hugot ng konti yung IG post mo. But what did you mean about that? Na it's not motivation or inspiration, it's really discipline.
Being an athlete kasi, I was immersed in sports when I was 3 years old. Yung first sport ko was swimming. And ever since then, sports has dominated most of my life. And that's one of the main lessons that I've picked up from all those years in sports is that if you keep on doing something kasi every day, naturally mawawala yung discipline, naturally mawawala yung inspiration mo, your source of inspiration, your source of motivation. Pero what you can rely on is your discipline, because someday when you wake up, minsan ayaw mo magtrabaho, minsan ayaw mo mag-aral, minsan ayaw mo mag-training, pero you have to. Why? Kasi you know that one day it will all be worth it. And for me, that one day was in Vietnam. Parang nung nasa bubble ako, every day I woke up. Monday to Saturday, so early, tapos masakit yung katawan ko. Sometimes I don't even want to train anymore, pero iniisip ko, it's for my own good. And it will become fruitful naman someday, and that happened. So for me, discipline is one of my main traits talaga that I really have to develop, kasi even I struggle with maintaining discipline. It's not really perfect for me. So that's one of my few takeaways for people, is that kahit na ayaw mong gawin, you have to do it for your own good.
Excellent. And that's wise words for those who are obviously looking for more inspiration. Agatha, I have a couple of questions before we end this conversation. Unang-una, of course, anong plano mo ngayon after the Southeast Asian Games? What's next for you, and how are you going to prepare for what's up ahead?
So I have another competition, pero this time it's only online. Pero babalik ako sa bubble training ng Saturday, and then I'll stop. It ends ng June 1 kasi yun yung deadline ng submission of videos for the online competition. After that, I'm still awaiting further notice from my coach. Pero as far as I know, meron pa akong isang competition. It's called the World Cup, and it will be held in Japan. But I'm not sure if they will be pushing through it this year.
All right. Well, that's a lot of competitions, and we certainly wish you all the best. As a final question here, Agatha, I noticed in your resume that you finished a degree in consular and diplomatic affairs, and obviously that's a career in foreign affairs eventually. If you are looking at that down the road in the horizon, ano ang mga bagay na napulot mo sa paglalaro ng wushu that you feel could help you if you ever find a career in foreign affairs?
Actually, one of the main reasons that I took up the course was because I was immersed to a lot of different people na in competition. So pag dumadating ka sa World Championships, makikita mo there are so many different people that you have yet to meet. So when I graduated high school, I took up that course kasi hindi ako marunong magsalita, and I was still quite a stammerer during interviews, and that course really helped me shape my confidence and my speaking skills. So ngayon, pag nag-interview ako, I don't really need to memorize my answers. I don't really need to read off a script. And kahit man my script, I can easily memorize it because of that course. Kasi it's foreign affairs. You have to know how to you have to have really good social skills, and you have to know how to manage your interpersonal skills. So that's why I took up the course. So yung makukuha ko sa wushu for that course is how I manage my interpersonal relationships with other people. So I'm very thankful kasi they're kind of interconnected sports in that course.
I'm sure wherever you may be assigned, eventually as a diplomat, marami matutuwa dahil hindi lamang sila makakuha ng magaling na consul, pero makakakuha sila ng magaling at legendary na atleta mula sa Pilipinas. Agatha Wong, maraming salamat sa panahon binigay mo sa amin. Again, congratulations on your success sa Hanoi, and we wish you all the best sa susunod mong mga laban.
Thank you.
Mga kaibigan, ng ating Wushu champion, si Agatha Wong. Alright, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa Power and Play. Ako, grabe yung performance na yan. Talagang aabangan natin yan sa mga susunod pang mga Southeast Asian Games. And of course, hopefully in the World Championship, si Agatha Wong. Bago tayo mag-break, medyo pasok muna natin ang ating mga viral videos at pop culture sa mundo ng palakasan sa pamamagitan ng ating Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Minsan ang mga basketball player o mga atleta ay nagiging artista rin. Ha? Hindi po si Papa Bear, Papa B ang aming pinag-usapan, hindi si Benji Paras. Ang tinutukoy namin. Pero panoorin niyo po itong video na ito. Ang bida po dito ay si Dillon Brooks. Natatanda na si Dillon Brooks from the Memphis Grizzlies. Na nalaglag yata dito. Kita niyo naman. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi naman siya tinamaan ng depensa. Pero tumilapon pa rin siya. Ang nakakatawa dyan, nag-post pa talaga si Dillon bago ibenta ang acting. It looks familiar? Kamag-anak ba ito? Ni Mick Pinisi? Dillon Brooks, ang basketball player na actor pa sa ating Stop and Pop. Alright mga kaibigan, we will take a quick break. Sa aming pong pagbabalik, ang ating makakausap, ang champion coach ng UP Fighting Maroons, si Coach Goldwin Monteverde. Ito po ang Power and Play, hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, Chooks to Go, at ng Birmingham Subdivisions. Come home to Birmingham.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day. Plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Nag-uumapaw sa real chicken juice na swak sa panlasa ng buong pamilya. Available in sweet roast, pepper roast, at harissa roast variants. Chooks to go. Masarap kahit walang sauce. Tawag na sa Chooks to Go Delivery Hotline 8687-1010 o online sa chookstogodelivery.com or via GrabFood at Foodpanda.
Play. Game na sa Radyo 5 92.3 News FM.
At nagbabalik po ang Power and Play. Again, binabati po natin lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin sa Power and Play. Lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga suki dyan po sa Tarlac City, dyan po sa area po ng Pangasinan, and of course sa San Esteban, Ilocos Sur. Marami po tayong nakatutok ngayon, at of course gusto natin magpasalamat sa lahat po ng tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Unahin ko na po, of course, Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Sa ganitong pabago-bago ang panahon, mga kapatid, sobrang init tapos biglang uulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo, saluhin ang swerteng hatid ng Year of the Tiger. Own a brand new Tigo 2 Pro crossover with Cherry's Year of the Growling Tigo promo. Sa halagang 68,000 down payment, may sporty 5-seater ka na safe in any road condition dahil mas mataas ang ground clearance nito kaysa sedan. Spacious din ang seats at legroom kaya mas komportable mapa-driver or passenger. May 9-inch infotainment system pa na pwedeng i-connect sa MirrorLink and Apple CarPlay para mas convenient at chill ang travel mo. Pili na from the 6 lucky colors of Tigo 2 Pro: Passion Orange, Lava Red, Graphite Gray, Vivid White, Tuscan Beige, at Laser Yellow. Hashtag move for more colors and adventure. Bisitahin ang www.cherryauto.ph to know more about the fun-to-drive Tigo 2 Pro. Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Masarap kahit walang sauce. And of course, bisitahin natin ang kanilang pinakabagong Chooks to Stay restaurant. Diyan po ang kanilang first dine-in restaurant sa Robinson's Place sa Lipa, Batangas. Of course, ang kinyo pong hanapin ang kanilang Unli Chooks with Rice at of course ang kanilang pinakabagong mga hatid sa inyo na oven roasted chicken na may flavorful chicken juice. Again, Chooks to go, ang nag-iisang manok ng bayan. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Magpadala with confidence kahit para sa negosyo o personal bulk deliveries man yan. Kayang-kaya yang i-deliver securely with Joyride. And of course, ang ating Joyride motorcycle taxi ay patuloy pong namamayagpag. And of course, bagong-bagong hatid ng Joyride, ang Joyride car. So download the latest Joyride Super App now. Elms Seafood Paluto, the latest offering of the Elms Resto Bar Group, located at Unit 2, ground floor, Calle Bistro, Ever Commonwealth, Quezon City. Enjoy their delectable seafood menu in a relaxed, casual dining atmosphere for your salo-salo seafood meal. Visit also Carlitos Sisig Seafood Paluto along Shaw Boulevard. Elms Seafood Paluto. Maraming salamat of course sa Skin, your face and body anti-aging center, with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessments and treatment, just call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886. Birmingham Subdivisions. Come home to Birmingham. Located at Antipolo, Cainta, General Trias, Cavite, Marikina, Pasig, Rodriguez, San Mateo, and Tagaytay. Building community since 1984. Celebrate in your new home. Your home in Birmingham Subdivisions. Check out their Facebook page or call 0939-921-7458 or 891-27731. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. Asea Subic Beach Resort. Lick Hobby. Weave by Weave, hand in hand. Check out their IG pages. And of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live Smart. Alright mga kaibigan, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga tagapagtaguyod. Kung wala po kayo, ay wala din po ang Power and Play. Talking about Kanina po yung ating winners for the past week. Well, of course, sa pag-usapan natin ang tagumpay ng UP Fighting Maroons, ang kanilang kauna-unahang corona since 1986, a 36-year wait. And of course, alam niyo po, bago nagsimula ang kampanya ng UAAP Season 84, nakapanayan po natin ang naging arkitekto ng pagkapanalong ito sa UAAP Season 84 ng UP Fighting Maroons. At ngayon po, siya ay ating makakasama sa puntong ito. Walang iba kung hindi ang head coach ng UP, si Coach Goldwin Monteverde. Magandang araw, Coach Gold.
Magandang araw po. Thanks for having me back po sa show niyo po.
Congratulations! Sana kahit pa paano nakapagdala ako ng swerte dahil yan ang unang-una ko. Ikaw na-interview ko nung after the pandemic bago mag-UAAP season.
Oo nga po.
Alright, Coach, nakababa ka na sa ulap, sa Cloud 9.
Okay naman po. Okay.
Nakapagpahinga na. Alam mo, hindi ka naman bagito sa mga kampyonato. Of course, with NU, you're a champion coach. In fact, you're coming off 2 championships sa juniors. And of course, this is your 3rd consecutive one. Una kong tanong, iba bang mag-celebrate ang... kasi una mo kampyonato sa UP eh. Iba ba mag-celebrate ang mga scholar ng bayan, Coach?
Oo, masaya. Lalo na nung bonfire, makita mo dahil tao dumating. And everybody was really happy sa nangyari this season. Lahat makasalubong mo, maramdaman mo talaga yung saya sa loob, sa puso nila sa na-achieve namin this season.
Well, alam mo, ang tagal naman kasing hinintay and of course, pinagtsagaan ng UP community itong koronang ito. Kaya naman maintindihan natin kung bakit talaga namang napakasaya ng pagdiriwang. Talking about that, Coach, balikan muna natin before we talk about your final series. It all started, of course, in the elimination round. You, magandang ipinakita niyo yan. You finished 2nd, but there was one particular game that many felt was a turning point dito sa kampanyang ito. It was that last game sa elimination round. Ang Ateneo was protecting a 39-game winning streak, 13-0, looking for a sweep para sila ay madiretso kaagad sa finals at mawala ang traditional Final Four. And of course, nanalo ang UP Fighting Maroons dun sa larong yon. Coach, ang tanong ko, despite the winning, before that, the winning average margin ng Ateneo is about 17 points per game, ano naging mindset niyo dyan? And do you think that mahalaga na manalo yan going into the playoffs ng UAAP?
Well, going to the season from the first game namin sa season against, actually sila ang first game namin, we felt na we didn't play dun sa gusto namin, gusto namin makita sa team. And we took it a game at a time. Every time maglalaro kami, we would, look at yung mga mistakes natin, ano ba pwede natin pagandahin. Even sa mga wins na nakuha namin, we would try to find ways or how to improve as a team sa execution namin sa offense, yung how to i-run yung defense namin. So, ang dami rin namin mga close games which for me helped a lot, especially going towards sa Final Four and sa finals. Natuto kami mag-work as a team even sa mga pressure situation. Natuto kami kumbaga mapatibay pa yung aming depensa when talaga needed at that times na talagang kailangan talagang domain yung depensa namin. And lahat ng learning namin since day one, talagang if you're gonna compare yung first game hanggang sa last, sobrang layo na talaga nung in-improve ng team.
Alright. Maraming nakapuna, especially during the Final Four when nakatagpo nyo ang Lasal, na you were falling behind, double-digit leads, pero walang takot yung mga bata, no? Parang hindi sila nararatel, fearless nga ang iba, mga nagsasabi na talagang nakakabalik, even against Ateneo.
Siguro, along the way, nung naglaro kami, again, nung nag-start, marami kami mga close games na nangyari sa amin. Nagkaroon kami ng, kumbaga sa team namin, that culture na gusto namin talaga i-instill sa team namin is yung never giving up on whatever happens. No matter kung malaki lamang or whatever part ng game, basta kami, hanggat may oras, lalaban.
Coach, when you look at your lineup, and let's talk about the finals here, 3/4 of your lineup are halos lahat first-year players. No, yung mga bagito. Dalawa ang transferee from other schools, si Malik Diouf and of course si Save Lucero. And you only have Richie Rivero, James Spencer, and Noah Webb as holdovers from the past team, no? Ang tanong, were you concerned how they were going to react to the finals just before the finals? Naging ano ba yan? And what was your mindset there? Paano mo sila inihanda?
Actually, yung going towards the finals, tama, we had a lot of rookies na but most of them rookies na kasama ko na before. And alam ko yung alam ko yung fighting spirit na with regards sa game, hindi sila talaga yung mga type of players na susuko. But ang sa akin siguro ang malaking factor doon would be yung guidance ng mga seniors namin from day one ng practice namin. They would really guide yung mga young guys namin. Kumbaga, naging kuya sila sa mga player. And mostly, nag-start out kami yung paano namin i-implement yung system. Maramdaman mo na yung mga seniors namin would really listen din to sa mga young rookies namin. It would give that confidence sa mga young guys talaga na naglaro sila sa loob ng court na alam nila that yung mga seniors would have their back anytime. So I believe yung confidence na yun talagang nag-transfer sa mga rookies namin. Which kung makita natin during the game, talagang hindi mo maramdaman na nape-pressure sila.
Nabanggit ni Coach Tab after the game 1 victory ng UP that he made some huge tactical mistakes, no? Now it can be told, no? Marami kayong chess match ni Coach Tab. Maraming adjustments na ginawa in game 2 na puna natin that Coach Tab was using now more of his position 3, yung kanya mga small forwards to bring down the ball because the ball pressure on the guards was very heavy mula sa UP, no? Now it can be told, Coach Gold, ano ang mga tactical keys na ginawa mo dito sa seryeng ito laban sa Ateneo?
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, kami, nag-concentrate lang kami on the usual things that we do from day 1 ng season. Kumbaga, is to review the game, try to look at kung saan kami nagkamali, and just focus on improving on that. Trying to be more consistent sa ginagawa namin offensively at defensively. Kaya as I said kanina, kumbaga pag yung a team like a disciplined team and a great team like Ateneo, kailangan talagang consistency mo on both ends of the floor nandyan. So doon lang kami mas nag-focus kung how to defend and execute consistently against them.
Well, Coach, you of course, we're going up against one of the best coaches in the UAAP, in the country, for that matter, at humawak ng national team. But you're no pushover. Dalawang beses. Before this, you had a two-peat sa NU Juniors, and technically, this is your 3rd straight championship handling a team. Coach, I know that you're a very, very humble person, but kahit pa paano ba, were you pushed and kumbaga na-challenge going up against Tab Baldwin?
Siguro sa akin, like, before pa napapanood ko yung games sa Ateneo, nakikita ko yung kind of system and yung ganda ng disiplina ng team niya. Definitely, syempre, playing against Ateneo would push you to go on another level talaga. Na mag-iisip ka talaga what to do, ano pwedeng gawin on both ends. And paano mo motivate yung player mo, to overcome yung challenge na yun. Kaya competing against Coach Tab, kumbaga marami ka rin talaga ma-learn.
Oo. Well, if I go through a lot of the plays na ginawa mo, talagang, and specifically na mga crucial plays, no? There were many times that you called the right play. And of course, yung JD Kagulangan, I see how good you are tactically, but how much of that, yung mga plays na yan, was intentional, was planned, was deliberate, and how much of it was gut feel, Coach?
Actually, may mga plays na in given situations na like sa season natin this year, you won't have enough time na to practice kasi every other day in game. So, sa totoo lang, credit to the players na yung adjustment nila from game to game was really quick. I'm really confident sa mga players. I really believe ako sa kanilang lahat. Kumbaga, pag nag-uusap kami, I really trust them to make those plays.
Coach, what was going through your mind when JD was bringing it down? Did you want him to take the shot? Did you think he was going to take the shot? And when he took that shot, ano ang tumatakbo sa isipan mo?
Alam ko kukunin niya. Most of the players naman sa team, even JD, we would always talk and communicate naman. Ang maganda kasi ngayon yung setup ngayon sa bubble kami. Of course, may pros and cons sa bubble ka, pero one advantage kasi you would have enough time na punta ka lang sa kabilang kwarto, makakausap na yung player, or you would really have time to communicate. So, alam niya na yung tiwala ko sa kanya nandyan. And alam ko rin sa sarili ko what he's capable of doing. So at that given time na nakita ko na pinababa niya yung, kasi I think Xavier was about to set a ball scene sa kanya, but he chose Malik eh. So nakita ko na paggamit niya kay Malik, nakita ko talagang gusto niyang kunin yung and off that, di ba, meron siyang pasa kay Malik na nakadang.
Yes, tama.
So he went back to that again. Siguro medyo nag-alangan na rin si Ans na tumagal kay JD. That opened up things for him. Yes,
tama.
So it was really a good choice for him. Yeah. Very intelligent player talaga si JD.
This victory ng UP, Coach, anong impact nito ngayon sa programa ng basketball team and of course the long-term recruitment para sa Fighting Maroons?
Impact, malaki impact in a way na this could be a start na yung winning culture. And sa akin, on my part, I'm just honored to be part ng journey that started nung I think 2014. Hindi to yung parang one season lang ginawa. Kumbaga ito yung tipong 2014 when Coach Boss started it. Eventually right now kumbaga I had that chance to continue yung program, and we were blessed that we got itong season. And going towards sa season to come, may mga recruits din kami na papasok. Of course, may miss namin yung leadership ni Noah Webb and si Richie Rivero.
Coach, ito tanong ko, ang UP ba ay mas malakas sa season 85 at mas dangerous?
Masasabi ko lang ang UP lalaban yan kahit kailan. Kumbaga, hanggat may laro or may hindi titigil. Yung season 84 team, it's really special in its own way. But definitely, sa akin kasi each team has, its own specialty rin. So, I guess, yung mga, exciting pa rin, yung mga coming recruits, exciting pa rin yung darating na team. And I'm sure kung anong kultura na established naman ng mga previous players would continue on.
All right. in this finals was billed as Dynasty versus Destiny. Kayo yung Destiny. And Ateneo was hoping to build a dynasty with a possible repeat na hindi nyo pinayagan. Ang tanong ko ngayon, baliktad na. Are you building a dynasty? And do you think that this could be a start of a UP dynasty sa UAAP?
For me, pag sa akin, I would take it, syempre ngayon, champion kami season 84. When season 85 starts, it's another challenge for the team. So, we would take it as we took it nung season. As we go along as a team, we would just try to look for things to improve on, paano palakasin yung team, paano maging consistent, and eventually, if good things happen, then dahil lang dun sa ginagawa namin.
Let me medyo downshift ng konti. Will you take a break, Coach? Do you have plans na mag-celebrate ng konti, magbakasyon? Ang tagal mo sa bubble, obviously, nami-miss ka rin ng mga mahal mo sa buhay. And of course, the boys, ano ba plano ng UP Fighting Maroons?
For now, kasi sabi ko nga, like yung season was dire-diretso siya. It's a different season talaga na, sa isang linggo, 3 beses may isang time mga 4 eh. Siguro right now, ang main focus namin kasi syempre may yung mga injuries ng player, you just want them to recover muna. Of course, yung kung titingnan natin yung gap between yung season 84 and season 85, may iksi rin yung time frame between yung 2 seasons. Definitely siguro yung coaching staff, mag-meet na rin, para planuhin na rin what's in store for season 85.
Alright.
Then, hopefully, makabalik na rin kami kagad. Pero definitely, the team needs they deserve yung rest na after the season.
Including you, Coach. Talagang you deserve it. Coach, is it too early to be talking about you becoming a national coach? wala namang anything about na. But are you open to it? Open ka ba doon, Coach? Just in case matap ka?
kung may chance naman, kahit naman sino would want that opportunity rin.
Wow. Even in the senior team, maraming mga syempre iba talaga yung syempre mga bagong blood. We know of course na napakaraming magagaling na coaches, but iba yung may pruweba. This is my last question, Coach, and alam mo, I remember even nung una kitang in-interview, sabi mo that the UP job after so long na nasa juniors ka is a dream come true for you, no? Na nakatungtong ka sa hindi lamang sa UAAP Seniors Division but sa UP Fighting Maroons, no? Na ang pakaganda ng programa. In your wildest dreams, did you see on your rookie year that this dream job would end in a dream ending like this? Nakita mo ba, Coach?
Goal namin, na pumasok kami, gagawin namin lahat makakaya namin to enter the Final Four and win the championship. From there, nakita namin goal namin, we just work for it every day. So, just so happened siguro na we were really blessed for the season na nag-pay off yung hard work namin, kahit may exam pa noon, yung preparasyon namin, and yung team talagang really got together. Really, yung commitment ng bawat isa sa team nandyan. Kaya we were blessed with this championship.
Well, alam mo, bilib ako sa'yo, Coach. To the very end, napaka-humble, humble in victory, and of course, always giving the praise to your players and to your supporters. But a lot of people know na iba ang nadala mong kultura, iba ang nadala mong tradisyon, and of course, yung bagong pananaw sa coaching ng UP. Coach Goldwin, saludo ako sa iyo. Congratulations on your first title. I know it will not be the last. Masakit man sa aking ako na bilang atinista, pero saludo ako sa UP Fighting Maroons.
Salamat po, Coach. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat. Good luck and enjoy your vacation, Coach.
Opo, thank you po. Thank you po.
Well, sabi nga nila, maraming bagay dapat hintayin. And obviously, a lot of Filipino fans have been waiting for the moment where we finally see our guest today. He's not only playing in Philippine shores, he's also the #1 overall pick in the PBA Draft. No other than Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser. Good day, Brandon. Thanks for joining us today on Power and Play.
Thanks for having me.
It's so good to finally meet you and to finally have you playing 5-on-5 basketball. You know, let's just have a little bit of a look back here. A year ago, you were not allowed to join the draft. You were declared as ineligible because of certain papers. But this year, you've finally been allowed. We saw you in 3x3. How good does it feel to finally get your game on the 5-on-5 court of the PBA?
Oh, it's a dream come true. You know, it's something that I've looked forward to for a long time now. You know, I've been a big fan of the PBA for a long time. You know, going back to seeing my brother play and inspiring to be on the same stage and platform as him. So, like you said, a year ago, I was denied, but I'm here now, and I'm just grateful to have this opportunity.
Well, You a lot of people are waiting for you, of course. They saw you in 3x3. We saw you with Alab, and we know the kind of caliber of a player that you are. Now that you have been selected as the #1 overall pick in this year's draft, do you feel pressure to prove yourself?
Not at all. It's obviously there is some outside pressure, but nobody puts more pressure on me than myself. So, at the end of the day, it's just basketball. It's my favorite sport. It's something I love to do. So, I'm excited for the opportunity, and I just can't wait to finally be out there on the court and showcase my skills.
You are joining Blackwater Bossing, of course, a team that unfortunately had a string of bad luck in a couple of or several seasons in the PBA. It has that infamous record for futility, and it's still, of course, on the building end of the spectrum among the teams. How do you feel about joining Blackwater, knowing that that's where it's coming from, and that the future is still on the rise for them?
Oh, I'm excited, man. Like you said, winning is a process, and you can't, cheat. You can't cheat any steps. You have to go in there and you have to work hard. So, hopefully when I get there, I can, go in there and affect some change and, hopefully win some games. So, it takes a collective effort. I can't, do it by myself. Those guys have been there. They're veterans of the PBA. So, I'll follow their lead. There's a lot of talent there. We just have to put it all together. So, I'm looking forward to it because I feel like, if we play our game and play together, you never know what can happen.
I'm sure you've seen Blackwater play because you've been here, you've been playing 3x3, and, I'm sure you've been watching a lot of the games in the PBA. When you look at that team, the bossing team, how do you fit in, Brandon? Where do you think can you contribute immediately so that, you'll have an impact on the team?
I think I just have to, play my game. I pride myself on being a two-way player, being versatile. So, a little bit of everything, whatever coach wants me to do, that's what I'll do. And, it's, I just want to go there and, just fit in and, work hard and lead by example. And hopefully, I'll be able to get some playing time and, hopefully, win some games.
Talking about Coach Ariel, your head coach, have you talked to him?
Yeah, I've been going to practice. He's a really nice guy. It's going to be fun to play for him. I can't wait to get out there with all the guys and play and practice.
Has he given you any kind or any particular role? Has he told you what he plans to do with you when you get to the team?
No specifics. He just told me to be myself. Play hard. They said, one of the reasons why they're attracted to me is, the way I play, the intensity I play with. And I feel like if you play hard, you get rewarded. So, I'm just going to go out there and just play my hardest and let the chips fall where they may.
That team is not bad. You've got some great guards in that team. And when you look at the lineup, McCarthy, Melton, Casio, and even Abasera Mer are excellent guards in Blackwater. Then you've got some very good wing players in Desiderio and even Ray Suerte, who used to be with the national team. And here you come as a big man. Who are you most excited to play with in Blackwater Bossing? Do you know any of your teammates from the past?
I know some. I know Rashawn. He was teammates with my brother. At San Miguel and at Terra Firma, so I know him a little bit, and I've been talking with him a lot at practice, and he's giving me the lowdown of the team. But I'm excited to play with all of them. Like you said, we have some talent on there. We just have to put it all together. So I think that we just work hard and play together. Good things will happen for us.
I've seen some of your highlights, and most of them are, of course, on the offensive end. Most of them getting your shots up from three-point range, and of course, that strong drive, that athleticism that you display wherever you play. Brandon, which part do you think of your game is more mature going into the PBA? Is it your offense or your defense? And I guess what the question that is begged is, which part are you going to work on more?
I think that you always have to, work on your game, every part of it. You can't get complacent, you can't get, stagnant. But, I think my defense, is something that I pride myself on, and something that, I look forward to, showcasing out there, being able, to guard bigs and, guards and wings. I think that's something that the 3x3 game helped me a lot with, being able to switch on to smaller guys and then, hold them, down. So, I think my defense is something that, I want to really go out there and show, the fans and, the other players that, that's something that I pride myself on.
Are you concerned about the physicality of the PBA, Brandon?
Not at all. I'm a physical player myself. So, I know there's a lot of big guys there, but, I never back down, from anybody. So, obviously, it's going to be tough, but, I know that just comes with, playing in the PBA, and that's what makes, it's a tough league. It's physical. So, I think I got a taste of it, pretty good in the 3x3, which was really physical. So, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be easy, but it's something that I think I've been able to adjust to pretty well.
Outside of your team, is there a player or players that you're looking forward to facing and playing against?
Obviously, my brother Matt. It's going to be pretty cool.
All right, here we go.
It's something that we've talked about for a long time now, and for it to actually be happening, it's pretty special. So, Matt, and then obviously there's a lot of talented big men out there. Junmar Fajardo, is a guy that I've watched a lot. Just because Matt was on his team, and then you got guys like Christian Sanhardinger and Japet Aguilar, and guys like that. So it's gonna be fun, to go out there and test myself and see just exactly how my game stacks up with theirs.
It'll be exciting to see that first game between you and Matt, and I'm sure a lot of people will be reserving tickets for that one, because that's going to be more than just a game. It's going to be personal between Matt and Brandon. I'm just joking. Talking about personal here, you're turning 28 next month. The only things I know about you are that, plus you come from a town called Temecula. I actually know somebody from Temecula, California. He's a classmate of mine. He used to be working in a golf course, and he's retired there. So I know someone from there. But other than that, and of course you're the brother of Matt. But other than that, I think I want to know a little bit more about you. First of all, are you married? Are you single? Do you have a family? Do you have kids?
I'm single. I'm really focused on basketball and stuff right now. So.
All right, so there you go, ladies. Brandon is single right here. All right. Did you always want to be a basketball player, Brandon?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I knew that I was really good at, and then seeing my brother play, that's something that I inspired to be. But also, I had dreams that maybe one day I could be on the radio. I went to school for media, and communications. So one day, back then I was hoping that I might be on the radio and be a DJ or a radio personality. But I think the basketball team. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll start a show like this or a podcast. You never know. So.
Why not? I'll be away for a week. Maybe you can take over the show next week. Just joking. When you were growing up, obviously you idolize certain players, you idolize certain heroes. Who were your childhood idols and heroes, Brandon?
I grew up in Southern California, but my dad and my family are from his side of the family is from Philadelphia. That's why I have the Sixers stuff on. So I grew up idolizing Allen Iverson, but also idolizing Kobe Bryant, because who didn't idolize Kobe. So I think over the years I've been able to take their fieriness, the way that they play, all out. That's something that I saw a lot growing up. And I think that's the best way to play basketball. So, Kobe and Iverson, the way they played, I really liked it growing up.
Well, the city of brotherly love. That's why I love your shirt. And of course, Kobe was from Philadelphia. Although he played in LA. And it's good to have a brother Philly fan here. Although we're always in mourning, so to speak.
Right.
All right. All right. When did you learn about the PBA? Even before Matt played, when did you guys learn about the PBA, and did you immediately have, tell yourself, hey, I want to play there one day?
Actually, we growing up, my mom had the Filipino package channels back home. So
all right, yeah,
we would watch games, and it's funny because one of my earliest memories of the PBA is watching Jimmy Alapang, and then full circle moment, I was able to play for him.
That's
so
right.
That was back in like the early 2000s, and that's when I first saw the PBA, and then obviously Matt when he went to college, he had the opportunity to come and play for the national team, and then go to the PBA. So that's when we found out. That's when I found out about the PBA.
All right, you just came from the Southeast Asian Games, Brandon. You've been playing 3x3 in the PBA for Limitless, and you represented the country in Hanoi. Unfortunately, you did not, make it to the gold medal game, and the Philippines ended up in third place. It is a disappointment, I tell you, because we had ruled this previously in 2019. Tell us about your assessment about your tournament in 3x3 at the Southeast Asian Games.
Well, first of all, it was a great experience. It's something that a couple months ago I would have never thought I would be playing on the national 3x3 team. But it was really fun, and to do it with my Limitless teammates, Jory Napales, Raymar Caduya, and Marvin Hayes. It was an honor, playing with those guys, because we put in a lot of work for the past 7-8 months. But I thought we played well. I think that team back in 2019. Really woke up a lot of the other countries that they got to take it serious. So a lot of teams sent their best players. So we competed hard. We had opportunities. The team we lost to in the semifinals, Thailand, we beat earlier, and they just they got our number that game. But I'm so proud of the guys, and Coach Willie Wilson, for having us prepared, and it was just a great experience overall. And for us to win the bronze, that was that was good, because we didn't come back empty-handed.
In your mind, what is the biggest difference between 3x3 and 5-on-5?
Probably the pace of the game. It's it's quick. There's not a lot of breaks. There's a lot of physicality, like I said earlier. And it's really fun though. Once I was able to get my legs underneath me and adjust to the game, I had some good success. So it was really fun. That was my first time. This stint of me playing 3x3. That was my first time ever playing 3x3. So it was really cool, and I'm happy that my basketball journey took me there.
Well, it's interesting that you say that it's your first time, because it could possibly be not your last, because you played really well. A lot of people were very impressed with the way you played 3x3 So are you willing to play 3x3 again, especially for the national team?
Yeah, for sure. I think I could do it for the national team. I don't know about the PBA 3x3. That was a grind. That was pretty tough on my body. That was pretty tough on my body. But if I was ever asked to represent the country again on the 3x3, I would gladly accept, and hopefully that isn't my last time playing for the national team.
All right. Well, before I finish up, let me just do a little bit of a quick over and under for you here, because I wanna get your thoughts about this very quickly. More or less, trying to summarize your goals this coming rookie season that you are facing. Over and under, Blackwater had only 1 win last season. Over and under 4 wins this coming conference.
Oh, I'm thinking the over. Well, obviously, I'm thinking the over. I think the focus is there. We just got to execute. So, I think we can.
All right.
We can surprise some teams.
All right. You over and under, when you played with Alab, you averaged about 4.9 points a game. So over and under 10 points a game this conference.
And I'll say over again. Hopefully, I can put the ball in the basket a little bit better than I did on Alab.
All right. Free throw percentage with Alab, you shot only 52%. Now, I'm going to give you an over and under 70% in your first conference.
I've worked really hard on my free throws, so I'm gonna pick the over again.
Wow,
the free throws,
great.
That's funny that you brought that up, because that is something that I really worked hard on, my free throw percentage, and I think I shot in the 70s or 80s in 3x3. So hopefully I can carry that to 5-on-5.
All right, and finally, Blackwater needs a lot of help inside. As a big, and of course rebounding, they had problems in that particular department. With Alab, you averaged 2.5 rebounds. I'll put it at 5. Double that. Over and under.
Picked over again, man. It's hopefully I can improve my numbers. Hopefully as a team, like you said, we can crash the boards a little bit better, and hold teams to 1 shot. So I'm gonna pick the over again.
Well, with all of that prediction on the over and under, things are looking up for Blackwater. I'm very excited for your team. As a final question, Brandon, what are your goals on your rookie season? Are you looking to win the Rookie of the Year?
I think, to get the Rookie of the Year, you have to win games. Individual numbers aren't, the only thing that, voters look at. So, I think if I can go and affect, change and affect, winning, I'll have a good opportunity to get it. But, that's not my focus. My focus is getting better and winning games, and then let the, other stuff take care of itself.
Well, the future definitely looks very bright for you and Blackwater, and we're excited to see you finally play in the PBA in the regular game this coming June. Good luck to you in the PBA, Brandon, and we look forward to having you again on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
At dyan po nagtatapos ang ating episode ngayong Sabadong ito ng Power and Play. Again, nagpapasalamat po kami sa lahat ng nakasama natin ngayong araw pong ito. At of course, lahat po sa inyo na patuloy na tumututok at sumusubaybay sa ating palatuntunan. Magkita-kita po ulit tayo sa susunod na Sabado. And of course, sa aming laging sinasabi, tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, ad maiorem Dei gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inay ko po. Happy Sports Weekend, mga kapatid! More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipagdiwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, tsumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko.